guys, it's me, Courtney from Know Your Produce, and today I'm going to show you how to cut a watermelon. This is the way I cut it. You can cut it however you like. This is just the way I do it. It makes it easier. There's plenty of other ways to do it, but this is my favorite. First, I'm going to show you how to pick out a watermelon, or how to pick a watermelon. I picked this with my own bare hands. We like going to a local farm. I go to Specca Farms, and they have a lot of pick your own, and I look forward to pick your own watermelon. They are absolutely my favorite pick your own farm. They have so many offerings. They have potatoes, they have beets, they have like pretty much everything you could think of, except for like tropical fruit, like everything that we can get here local in Jersey. So I make the trip pretty often, and I go there and get everything that I want to pick during the season. So first things first, I don't even do any of that. I really just look at it. So as you can see, it's got a nice yellow belly. We've got some markings on here as well. You can see all the markings where like the bees were like hitting it and stuff. So it's very sweet, hopefully. You don't know until you cut it. I picked this 2 weeks ago. So when you pick a watermelon fresh off the vine, they last quite a bit. They can be shelf stable for 3 to 4 weeks. So when you go to the store, these watermelons are not fresh picked. This is a fresh picked watermelon. It's actually 2 weeks old though. So what I'm gonna do is I'll show you how I picked it out. It's a little hollow, but how to pick out a watermelon. I really just go by visual. I wanna see a nice tight weave here. I don't want it to be too green. I want to see some light green, and I want to see a lot of yellow on the bottom. So when I see a lot of yellow on the bottom, I know that's going to be a sweet watermelon. When I see all those markings, I know that this is going to be a good melon. It's got quite a bit of marking on it, as you can see here, here, all here. And I'm ready to cut into this. What I did is when I picked the watermelon, I made sure that it was easy to come off the vine. I brought my shears in case, but I didn't need the shears, so there was no reason for me to cut this off. It came off the vine very easily. And so I'm sitting there, I had 8 watermelons in my barrel, and everybody's like, how are you picking out those melons? Where are you finding them? I was in the watermelon bush, I want to call it, because there was just so much overgrowth. And I was sitting there helping people pick out watermelons, me and my little guy and my daughter. Yeah, it was an experience helping people pick out watermelons. So let's cut into this. Let's see if I did a good job. So what I do is kind of like my way of cutting a cantaloupe. I start with giving myself a sturdy base. So I'm just taking a sharp chef knife and just sawing away. Whew. And then I'm just going to take this and put it on the side bowl. I'm actually lefty, so I'm gonna go this way. I can't get myself, there we go. Now I can get better grip on it. So yeah, make sure you have a good grip. That is gorgeous. So we're gonna put this, retrim this side, and it should be all pink when I cut it, or a little bit pinker. Okay, not too bad, I'll cut that out. So now I'm going to stand my watermelon up. She's heavy, you also want it to be heavy for her size. It's super heavy. And I'm just going to go and trim around it. And you want to do so keeping in mind you don't want to cut off too much of the melon. And rotate it if need be. Alright, this is actually a seedless watermelon. I did pick some sugar babies, but we ate those quick. Like I said, I picked 8 watermelons, so this is our last one. And I figure, let's see how long it can last. And it's been 2 weeks and it still looks great. All right, looking good. I'm getting all the white flesh off that I can. And we're gonna rotate the board because it's easier to rotate the board than a heavy watermelon. Right. So like you really want to try to avoid as much as you can of cutting off a lot of that red flesh, because you can always go back and really get deeper down. Now my kids will snack on this a little bit, which is totally fine. Or I could even use this in my smoothies. I like to make a smoothie with melon. It's good for acid reflux. You can find that, I'll link it below. And actually it's much less sugar in those pieces, which is nice. So now I'm gonna rotate this watermelon and we're gonna get the top. Very juicy. And like I said, we could use that melon to make watermelon juice. You could even use the rind, which is nice. But I'm pretty happy with all this. That looks good. I'm gonna go ahead on that top and just scoop this part out that's still white. I don't know how deep it goes. Let's see. Ready? No, not too deep. I'm gonna cut this in half. So now that I have it cut in half, I'm going to take this half and put it on my lid of the bowl that I'm going to be putting all the melon in. I'm going to cut this in half on the actual lid. Then I'm going to cut this in half carefully. And then again, I'm just going to chunk it up. One juicy melon. All melons are juicy. This one's super juicy. And I haven't tasted it yet, so I'm hoping it's pretty sweet. Like I haven't tasted like the heart. That's what everybody loves, is the heart. Could I make it? Could I make it? No. There we go. I'm gonna try a piece right here. Really good. I will say that for seedless this is very good, but I do like seeded better because they're just much sweeter. And then we have this large hunk that I'm gonna get right now. Woo! Slippery! And then I'm just gonna cut this in half, rotate it. Careful your fingers, rotate. And then rotate. So I do a lot of rotating. And then we just take those cubes that we just made and bring it right over to our bowl. Exactly how you cut a watermelon, that's how my husband taught me, and he processes watermelons a lot more than I do. I'm not usually the watermelon cutter, but that's how I cut all my melons. Honeydew, cantaloupe, watermelon. I just feel like I get a better control of my knife. So I hope you guys enjoyed my quick and easy how to cut a watermelon and you are not as intimidated. It's really hard with a bigger one, so if you want to cut a watermelon, first start off with a smaller one, like a sugar baby, a personal size one. Those are much easier to cut than a big watermelon. This wasn't even that big. I've gotten bigger, but this was a smaller one that I picked. I picked some big watermelons. I think I spent 80 bucks on watermelon. 79 something. Yeah, but it's a lot cheaper picking it than getting it from them picked. So that's what I did, and I really had control of getting it, and it's super fresh and super delicious. See you guys soon. Bye. Oh. So juicy. So now I'm going to rotate this watermelon. 1, 2, 3, carefully. It's slippery. Carefully.